Hey, what's up, podcast family? Welcome back to another episode with me. I am Brittany. What's going on, my podcast family? I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. It's like 12:38 in the morning where I am here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I know most of y'all are probably sleeping. But when you get up in the morning, go ahead and tune into this episode. Share it with your family and your friends, whoever you spend the most time with. Go ahead and share this podcast with them. But I hope your weekend has been going great. I hope you've been focused on them goals, grinding hard, staying focused, not getting caught up on what somebody else is doing, minding your own business, staying in your own lane, and creating your own wave and riding that wave out. I pray that you guys have been your greatest self, that you've been the great person that you've been born to be, and that you are striving for greatness and becoming great each and every day that you wake up and your feet hit the floor. It is winning season, y'all. Let me just go ahead and say that right now. I'm affirming that right now. It is winning season. There's no enemy that can stop you. There's no devil that's going to stop you. There's no hater that can stop you. There's nobody that's, two-faced and fate that's going to stop you. There's nobody in your family that's going to stop you. Nothing that is coming to you that is trying to stop you in your tracks of winning, it will not win. It will not prosper. It will not grow. Because you're great. You have greatness on the inside of you because greatness made you. You are dedicated. You're focused on your goals. You know where you're going. You know what you're about to do. You know what you're becoming. Okay, nothing's going to stop you in this season. This is the season for winning. This is the season for greatness. Okay, so go ahead and step into that. Go ahead and affirm that right now. I affirm that over you right now that you are going to win. Don't get caught up on these distractions. There's not a distraction out there that will stop you from getting to the goal, to getting to your destiny. There's not one distraction. So don't get so caught up onto your left or to your right. Stay focused straight ahead and do not fall behind. All right. I just had to tell you that because I just felt that so heavy in my spirit to let somebody know that you're winning and it's winning season. But to go ahead and get in this topic for this morning, I was about to say tonight, y'all, but it's actually a.m. It is a.m. We are Sunday morning already, and it's 12:40 a.m. where I am, and I'm up. I am up. You probably hear a little sleep in my voice. You might hear a little congestion because I have had a cold over the week, but that ain't gonna stop me from getting this message out. This ain't gonna stop me from what I am set to do. This ain't gonna stop me from the hustle. This ain't gonna stop me from the grind. This is not gonna stop me from my purpose. And that's what you have to be, the same exact way. Nothing can stop you. Trust me, all this week, well, not all this week, but towards the end of the week, I had some distractions to come. I had some things that tried to come in my way to throw me off and get me caught up with so much, overthinking, distractions, and could have even led me to a point of just being just overwhelmed and down and out. I've had that come my way, but I learned something in that. And what I learned is that you have to absolutely be very aware of your surroundings. You have to be very, very aware of your environment and who you surround yourself around. Because who you surround yourself around, you will become. And this goes for relationships, like boyfriend, girlfriend, just dating, marriage, friendships, co-workers, family members. This applies, even church members. This applies for all types of levels of relationships. And yes, I said marriage because I once thought being married that doesn't really affect me. But I must go ahead and say and let this be known that I was once married. So I never really thought about the fact that my marriage could be affecting me, could be a big influence on me, I should say, because I was just so caught up with the title of marriage and then what it looks good, with culture, what it looks like on Instagram, what it looks like on Facebook and all that extra stuff. But I'm going to get into that later when it comes down to my testimony and marriage and divorce and all those things. But yes, even in marriage, you can also have a bad influence. It can be good influence. It can be bad. Just because you're married or just because you're dating, just because that's your mom, just because that's your sister, that does not mean, it doesn't qualify the relationship. You know what I mean? Those titles don't qualify and give justice. Like, okay, I can have this relationship with this person because we're married, or I can be intertwined with this person because we're dating. And I can socialize with my cousin because we blood. Blood don't mean nothing. Because if it's not giving you a good impact, if it's not impacting you in a positive way and pushing you to a next level or making you grow, that doesn't mean anything. Trust me, in this season, I have cut off. I have not been around some family members. I've cut off family members. I have refused to even be around certain family members. And my mom was like, why? And it's because I don't want that energy around me. I don't want that influence around me, because some people can bring out the bad in you. You know what I mean? Like, they can bring out the bad in you. So we have to be very mindful of our environments and our relationships, because who you surround yourself around is who you will become. If you surround yourself around a person who is constantly with a bad attitude, constantly negative, arrogant, selfish, mine, or procrastinating, or always gossiping, always complaining, always whining, you know what I mean? Always crying, always just constantly complaining 24/7, always talking about what they're going to do, but they're not doing it. And they're always saying, I can't. They always say, I'm good where I'm at. They don't want to move to the next level. Or they always worried about what somebody else got going on. They always worried about, well, why this person got this, but I got that. I'm qualified for it. Why didn't I get it? I went to college. I got a degree. Why couldn't I get that? Why did that person get what I should have gotten? You have to stay away from people like that. So you have to be very mindful what your relationships look like. And that's what I want you to do over the next 7 days, is take an evaluation, a self-evaluation of your friends, your family members, and look and evaluate and ask yourself, is this relationship benefiting me, or is this relationship keeping me in a place where I don't need to be? When I talk about marriage, when it comes to marriage, you become one with that person. So everything they do, it affects you. Everything they say, their actions, all of those things, it affects you. You may not feel that. You may not even know that, but I'm telling you it will, because I've been there and I've had that. And it was a big eye opener for me in the process of separation. And I was like, wow, this person has said, something that was so evil and cruel. And I'm married to a person who thinks and speaks that way. I'm married to somebody who speaks that language, like, wow, with no, and doesn't have a heart, doesn't even care about, what comes out of his mouth. You know what I mean? But like the Bible says, whatever the stomach is full of, so will the mouth speak. So that's how you truly feel. But that's not what I'm on. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot be joined in with a person who talks and speaks this way. So I say this to say, like, you have to really be very careful with who you marry. Your attitude, your attitude will become their attitude. Whatever they got, whatever attitude that they hold, whatever personality and characteristic traits that they have, you will take on as well. So you being married to that person, or you being in a relationship with that person, and y'all living in the same household, the things that they do will rub off on you. If it's not good, if it's a bad, and again, let me slow down just for 1 second, because you can pick up some good characteristic traits. You can also pick up some bad ones. But if you're picking up more bad than you are good, that's not a balanced relationship. That's not going to work for you. Because remember, this is your winning season. So in order for you to win in this season, you got to step back and evaluate your relationships. You got to step back and evaluate your relationships. Like I said, with family members, that don't mean anything. Blood does not mean nothing. It's the same as any other human being that is walking this face of earth. I know that for a fact. Your father, if he's not there, he's not there. If he's lying, he's just straight up lying. And just because it's dad, that doesn't mean that it makes it right. That's just a title. In my eyes, in my opinion, that's just a title. Your cousin, if she's out or if he's out, she's out partying all the time, clubbing all the time, showing their skin, showing their body, like talking crazy, using profanity just to look good, calling a woman out her name as if it's her name, like using the B word as if that's the name that her parents gave her. Like, that is not cool. That's not somebody you need to be around. Somebody who's your friendships, in regards to your friendships, or even family members, if they're constantly talking about, what they want to do, but, I just can't do it, or I don't feel like doing it, or it looks good, it sounds good, but I ain't got time for that. If you have developed a mindset right now in this season, if you have developed a mindset that you are trying to grow, that you're trying to get to the next level, being around those people is not going to help you. It is not going to help you. It is not going to help you. I give you a prime example. For me, with gossip, I was not around any type of gossip. And all of a sudden, about a month ago, month and a half, it was like so much gossip. And it really did something to my spirit because I had put myself in that environment. And I thought it was okay because, oh, it's nothing. It's work environment. It's fine. I'll be straight. I'm okay. No, I wasn't okay. I had to back off from that. And like, that is affecting me. That is getting to my spirit. That is making me feel not like right. You know what I mean? Not making me feel like I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm veering off. And that's what you have to do. You have to sit down. You have to evaluate what's going on in your circle. Who are you around the most? What that relationship looks like? Is that relationship bringing you joy? Is that relationship getting you to the next level that you're trying to get to? If it is, stick with it. Because you should be in a relationship, when it comes down to friendships, you should be in a friendship where you both are edifying one another, you are motivating one another, you uplifting one another. If that person call you crying, you should be able to listen to that person. You should be able to comfort that person and give them the real, raw truth. Don't give them something that they want to hear. Give them what's real. Give them what's what it is, 100%. Because that's how that person's going to grow, whether it's going to hurt them or not. If they take that advice and roll with it and say, I thank you and I appreciate it, that's a real one. But if they get an attitude with you and then they start snapping and fussing and telling you off and all this kind of stuff, or don't answer the phone, they kind of then backed off because you was genuine and you gave them the real, that is not somebody you need to socialize with. You need to instantly say, I'm not going to do this. That's a boundary. I'm not going to do this. Either we going to be here for one another and be real so we can grow and so we can be honest and get to where we need to go, or we just can't be friends. It's going to be one way or another. You have to set boundaries in these relationships. You have to have standards for yourself. If you got a standard of, I'm not gossiping, I'm not going to be around people who are stagnant, I'm not going to be around people who just are not even moving at all. And with stagnant, it comes in two different ways. You can be stagnant and kind of moving. You can be stagnant and really just running in the same spot over and over again. Because sometimes when you're stagnant for a short amount of time. It's like you're moving forward, but you got to stay still for a minute, but then you go into the next level. You're pushed to the next level. So you have to be very, very careful around those people. If it's not edifying you, if it's not uplifting you, it's got to be cut off, period. Because it's your winning season. It's your winning season. You're growing, you're changing, you're evolving. These things you can't have. This is something that you need to start with. If you're in a season of isolation right now, this is something that you really gonna have. I'm gonna say this here. You don't even have to really take the time out to evaluate it. Because if you're in a true season of isolation, I'm talking about a true season of isolation where you're not watching too much TV, you're praying, you're meditating, you're reading your word, you're reading books, you're listening to podcasts, you're on YouTube, you're listening to sermons, going to church. Those things that you will be able to instantly see what you got to let go of. Because before I went into isolation, the very first thing I had to let go of was Facebook. God had dropped it in my spirit. And when I ignored it, it became very much louder. The moment I deleted Facebook, I felt so much peace. It was like a weight lifted off of me. I had never felt nothing like that before. I felt very light. And that showed me something. I learned something from that. And what I learned was that environment that I was in was toxic. It was too much. It was too much. It was affecting me. There was so much comparing there. There was so much, looking and seeking and trying to figure out who, what, when, and why. It was a lot. I had people coming for me, plus of the things that I was already going through. It was a lot. So your environment can also be social media. You might have to cut that out for a while. You might have to just say, okay, I can't do Facebook, but I can do this one instead because I have more control over what I see and what I don't see, what I hear, what I don't hear. So when you are in that season of isolation, you will know. All of it will be revealed of what you need to take note of and change. I'm talking about all the way down to discipline and consistency. all the way down to your children if you have kids, all the way down to if you need to redecorate your house, if you need to purge. There's so much you can learn in isolation. So if you're in a season of isolation right now, and you probably 25% in it, 9 times out of 10, you already know who you got to let go. You already know who you finna let go, who can't be in your circle, because you have a vision, you have goals, and now you know what you want to do. Now you know what you want to do. But again, in these friendships, I'm telling you, if you around people who are not going anywhere, they're constantly worried about other people and what they're doing, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. You got to give it up. And I've done that. That was the second thing for me. Once I began in isolation, it was the friends. But I'm going to say this. I knew who I needed to let go before I went to isolation. I already had an idea. It's just a fact of doing it. And I didn't know how to do it. I didn't want to come off, I didn't want that person to be mad at me. I was trying to please somebody. But the more I start praying, the more I start digging up me and figuring out who I am and what I want, the vision for my life, all those things, by nature, just naturally, it just instant pullback came. Because even if you don't take that time to say, I can't do this relationship because it's not pushing me to where I need to be, it's affecting me in a negative way. It has a negative impact on me. When you begin to work on your goals and you start to have that focus and that determination and that drive to do what it is that you say you was going to do, naturally, those relationships will fall off. Because you are going to fall in love with reaching your goals. You're going to fall in love with getting into the next level. You're going to fall in love with that vision that you see, and only you can see it. You're going to get so excited about that, you ain't going to have no other choice but to say, girl, I can't hang out with you today. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm busy. Can you come over this weekend? I can't. I'm going to go ahead and say this. Like, one time, I remember this. This was recently too. About a month or 2 months ago, there was this girl I used to hang out with a lot. Not much outside of a particular place, but she would say, Brittany, I always invite you to my house, or I invite you out, but you never come. I've been doing this for a long time. And it's the reason why I never go out with her anywhere is because we are in 2 different places. We're in 2 different perspectives of life. Like, we have 2 different mindsets. We're going in 2 different directions. What your concern is not my concern. Her concern was just trying to keep up with everybody else and what they got going on, right? My concern was, I don't care what nobody else got going on. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for my life. And you should do the same. If you would stop focusing on other people, you would get farther than what you think you are, where you are now. So I could not hang out with this person because I didn't want to sit around and talk about, well, girl, you know who did this, and girl, you know who said that, and girl, what about this? I did it. I didn't even want to talk about my own problems. I was going through a whole divorce and still didn't even mention this to her. Because I really was focused on my healing. I was focusing on my healing, focusing on getting to where I wanted to go, having a vision, creating and reinventing my own self. So me telling you that was not going to help me. That's why I have a therapist. And because I knew what type of person this was, because she was such a chitter chatter person, I refused to even do that. So when you know better, you do better. So when you are aware, you make decisions off of your awareness. Are you aware of your friendships and what they're doing to you? Are you aware of if it's a negative impact, positive impact? What is it bringing you? It shouldn't be weighing you down. Like I said, marriage. I'm telling you, marriage is a beautiful thing. I believe in it. But you have to be careful of who you marry. I think that's just a automatic. You know what I mean? That's just common. That's a common quote. Be careful who you marry, because their characteristic traits, men and women, can rub off on you. You can be influenced by that person in so many different ways, positive and negative. But if the negative is outweighing the positive, You got to let it go. In my marriage, when I was married, there was such a negative impact to the point that I lost friends. My relationship with my mom was not steady. My attitude had changed. I felt like I was becoming a girl version of him, a woman version, a female version. I should say, I'm not a girl. I'm a grown woman. I'm just playing. A whole woman version of him. My attitude was changing. The way I moved was changing. My temper was changing. I was quick at the mouth, with people and around people. And I've had that issue before, but it got 10 times worse when I married this man. I became a whole nother person. Thank God I didn't stay married long, because I would have been completely like a whole 360. And I realized that. I'm going to be real. I realized that before in the beginning, but I think I really realized it this past week, is that I'm changing. I'm developing new habits. I'm creating new things. And in the midst of me doing that, I discovered where I picked up that habit. Oh, I picked that habit up from when I was married, and didn't even realize it. Because when something become a habit, you just do it. You don't even have to think about it. You just do it. It's just like picking up, just like brushing your teeth. You got to wake up in the morning, those who brush their teeth. I'm just playing, y'all. But when you brush your teeth, you wake up in the morning, you got to do that. You have to do that. So it was the same thing for picking up that habit, but didn't realize where I had got it from and how I developed it, and how much more have I developed from this person. So again, you find all these things out in a season, in a period of isolation. You truly do. And being married to someone does not define greatness for you. Being married to someone defines greatness for you if you're married to the right person. Not saying it's going to be perfect, because it's not going to be perfect, but it should not be to the point where you picking up bad characteristic traits more than you are good. Because being around these people, being around these family members that are doing nothing to help you get to where you need to go, you pick up their habits. You become them. And again, back to marriage, you become one with who you marry. You become one with who you lay down with. That's soul ties. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother podcast. In this season, I can't give you, but I do know that you become one with that person in marriage. You become like them. So I pray that if you are married, that you are in a good, healthy relationship, a good, healthy marriage. And if you're not married and you're dating and you boyfriend and girlfriend, I pray that it's a healthy one for you. I pray that you learn something and that you guys are growing together, that you're feeding off, edifying and motivating and inspiring and encouraging each other, and not picking up something that's not going to get you 5 miles up the road. Family members, cousins, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. They smoke, drink, go out every weekend, in somebody's business all the time. What is that going to do for you? Nothing. That ain't gonna bring you nothing. Just because it's blood don't mean nothing. Just because it's blood don't mean anything, because you got people that you're not even related to that will be there and encourage you and motivate. Not even encourage and motivate. They will be there for you 10 toes down like they're your relatives. And you would be like, wow, you can get support from strangers. Unfamiliar faces will come to your rescue. So don't get so caught up on, but this is family. I'm telling you, my mom was like, hey, are you going? No, ma'am. I would drive you and I would take you, but I'm going to go with a cousin, which this is so real, y'all. This is so real, with a cousin that I know that we're going to be talking about God's word. We're going to be reading scriptures. We're going to be discussing scriptures. We're going to talk about how does this scripture apply to me. We're going to talk about the things that we were dealing with, any struggles that we're dealing with. How do we, I pray about this and what should I do about this? And you helping me out. You help, we helping each other out. I will be over there, which is probably like 10 minutes away, but I'm not going to be on this side where somebody I know that is just, they on something different. They're on something different. This is real life. And the moment you made that decision, I'm telling you, you will gain so much peace, y'all. You will gain peace. You will gain clarity. You will gain all of that. I would never had to cut off somebody who always came to me talking about people that she didn't even know. I had to tell her, stop. And the moment I did that, I learned two things. I gained two things. I gained who she really was in the beginning, and I gained my peace, which was most important. When you start to sort out these relationships and go through these relationships that you have, and you evaluate the type of relationships you have and what y'all got going on in the midst of those relationships, and you feel like, oh, I need to remove this. Oh, I can't, I got to back off. I got to do some things. When you start to do that and you take action behind that, watch how your life will level up, and watch how God will bring you new friends, the right ones that you need. I know this for a fact. He will bring you the right relationships to you. Good friendships. Like I said in one of my episodes, friends that are going to be there for you. You going out to brunch. Types of friendships you didn't think you could even have, because I have them now. Cut them off, gain new friendships. That is the type of friendships and relationships that you need to have. Remember, y'all, you become what you surround yourself around. Do you want to become a successful person, or do you want to stay stuck in your brokenness and bitterness and depression and all this ugly mess? Because let me tell you something. Depression is not on you. Bitterness is not on you. Brokenness is not on you. None of those things are on you. How do I know this? Because that's what God says. He is your main source. Sometimes you have to cut everybody off and just stick to the source. You got to always stick to the source regardless. But sometimes in that season of isolation, you got to cut everybody off, stick to the source, everybody off that you know that you don't need. Stick to the source, praise and be right there with him, and allow him to move in your life, and everything will fall into place. Like I said, bitterness, depression, brokenness, all those things, rejection, and all these things that you might be dealing with right now, that's not who you are. That is not who you are. God says you are a royal priesthood. You are his masterpiece. You are his chosen one. You are his beloved. Get up and move from that. I don't care what the enemy has to say about you. I don't care what type of relationships you got that is not worthwhile. Right now, you could be in a season right now where you are in a relationship and you stuck and you trying to figure out how you can get out. You feel like you can't move. You feel like you cannot get up. You feel like it's hard for you to get up because this is all you know. This is all you got. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. If that relationship is hurting and harming you and keeping you stuck in something that you're in, you got more out there for you. Get up and walk away. You're more than a conqueror. These relationships that you're going to turn off, these relationships that you're about to cut off, watch how God replace those negative friendships and give you some good kingdom relationships, some good relationships that's going to take you far. Y'all going to make memories. Y'all going to go on trips. Y'all going to go to brunch. Y'all see, I keep saying brunch. I love to eat. I'm going to keep saying that. Brunch, baby. That brunch we had was so good. I need to actually be calling her first thing in the morning. Can we go to brunch again? You want to be able to do that. You want to be able to call your friends up, be like, girl, let's go to skating. I don't know how to skate. That's just an example, y'all. I don't know how to skate at all. I ain't even trying to learn. Hey, let's go downtown. Let's go get us a good old meal. Let's go get us some sweets. Let's go get us some ice cream. Girl, let's go to the park. That's what you want to be able to do. Those are the times. And when you say that, you should be confident and know we finna have us a good time. We finna have us a real good time. because you have a good friendship there. So evaluate those friendships, y'all. Get away from something that's not serving you, that's not pushing you to the next level, that's not edifying you, motivating you, comforting you, being a good listener, holding it down for you. Get around people like that. Get away from those other folks. Keep striving for greatness. Greatness is in you. Greatness made you. You don't have to look for it. It's in you. You don't have to become and be nobody else but yourself. And keep striving. Stay down for the come up. Stay up. Stay blessed. Stay strong. Never stop moving. Always keep moving. Always keep moving. I'm going to check back in with y'all later. And y'all have an awesome, awesome weekend. Again, I am Brittany. I'm a certified life coach, motivational speaker, as well as a mentor. I enjoy talking to you guys and pouring into you. I pray this has helped you. I want you to share this with your family, your friends, whoever you're around the most. And I pray that whoever you are around the most, they are the ones that are truly your friends, that are truly there for you, that truly love you. Stay up. Have a good day.